All right, so what's going on, everybody? It's Ryan here, and I'm going to talk about how to apologize without expectation. And I bring this up because as part of being married, as part of being together with someone for over a decade, you sort of have to learn how to give and take. You have to learn to communicate better if you're ever to stay together. For a lot of people in the world, I mean, divorce rates well over 50%, or around 50%, I've heard. And I'm pretty sure that has a lot to do with this whole idea of, like, I'm going on a tangent, right? Which is apologizing without expectation, or really expectation at all. You know, it's really hard not to have expectations. It's very difficult to not have expectations. Like, you click on this video, you watch it, you expect to get some value out of it, whether it be entertainment value, whether it be kind of a something you learn, something positive you get from it. So there's a certain expectation, and if those expectations don't meet, if I don't meet those expectations, you'll click off. You know, you won't watch anymore. Same to goes, like, if you expect people to have good manners, right? And they all of a sudden don't have good manners, you're going to feel disgusted at them. And it's very difficult. But I kind of want to talk about apologizing without expectations, because sometimes apologizing for things is difficult. Some of us have a lot of pride, a lot of ego. And you know what? I think we all do. And we have things that we are proud of, and things about ourselves that we want to protect, whether it be conscious or unconscious. And a lot of the time when we do this to ourselves, or when we feel this way, when we step out of that, when we try to, like, sort of make ourselves vulnerable, to sort of expose ourselves to say sorry, or to apologize to your girlfriend, husband, wife, or whatever, you expose yourself, and then they don't accept the apology, right? Or they don't accept the apology in the way you expect them to. And that's the biggest problem there, because you're expecting them to apologize, because you are essentially kind of bleeding, right? Metaphorically, right? You're just kind of showing yourself, expressing yourself in a way where you're like, oh, you're hurting, because it's hard for you to admit something that you were wrong. And then they reply back with distaste, or they don't reply, or they don't respond in the way that you would expect. And then all of a sudden, you get upset at them. And so how do you go about apologizing without expectation? Well, I'm gonna tell you the truth here. I don't know. I'm talking it out. I'm making it up as I go along. That's the reason why I'm making this video. That's the hardest thing, because really what it is, it's a lot about empathy. It's about being able to see the other person's point of view. And a lot of the time when you get emotional, like say you're doing push-ups to failure, or lifting a crap load of weight and you're in a lot of pain, all you can think about is getting out of pain, or getting through, so that you can be done with being in pain. Whereas when you communicate with another person, and you're fighting with a significant other, you have this, you're in pain, you're in emotional pain or discomfort, whatever you want to call it, and you can't step outside of yourself. It's the most difficult thing to do. And it's the way you figure this out, the way you can apologize without expectation. It's not so much that you can ever really do it. As I'm talking this out, I don't think you really can. What you can do is you can be aware of what your expectations are, right? Like, as I make this video, Rogue One, the Star Wars movie, came out. Whether you conscious or unconscious, there's high expectations for that movie. It's a Star Wars movie. It needs to be good, right? So if you go and see it and you have high expectation movies rarely meet them, or it's very hard to meet those expectations. Whereas, let's say you go to a movie, you don't know what it's about, but you go in and you're just blown away. A lot of that has to do with expectations. So when you are apologizing, when you're trying to apologize, okay, talking about Star Wars, not talking about apologies, apologizing without expectation, I'm repeating this so I don't lose my track, but when you apologize without expectation, what you're doing is just being aware of what you expect from them. And then catching yourself, realizing that, is it even appropriate to expect that of them? You're going to bleed, you're going to express yourself in a way where you're going to admit something, right? That you're wrong, or you want to admit, you're trying to admit something. It takes a lot out of you, and then they respond negatively, or they might respond negatively. Before they respond, you have to be prepared to catch yourself and realize that they might not respond in the way that you want, and that you're going to somehow have to learn how to accept that. You know, it's not easy to do, but the one thing you can do is, a lot of the time, it's just being able to see that it's happening. And again, as I close this video is getting longer than I wanted it to, but, like, for example, making a video, right? There's this theory, I forgot the name of the theory, but it's like there's a blind spot, right? What happened was they had these people watch this movie, and then there was like a gorilla or a monkey that was like hopping up and down, and no one noticed it because they were told to look at a certain area of the screen or whatever. And that's sort of what happens when you get emotional. You can't be aware of it. So if you can be aware of that monkey that's in the corner of that movie screen, or in the case of the monkey in this analogy, is to stretch this analogy to apologizing without expectation, is sort of being aware of that possibility that they might not respond in the way you want them to, and it's not easy. And I think I'll end it there because I feel like that is the most I can say. And if you'd like to continue the conversation, leave a comment below. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.